returned, and this is going to be an interesting episode for where we are in the game. Since we're nearing the end, there's going to be long, drawn-out fighting scenes where I can actually talk, but there's also going to be fairly lengthy cutscenes full of exposition and lore. If you've been around, at the end of the previous episode, we dealt with Liara's mother and found out that little bit of information from the matriarch and the Rachni. And now... Exact. Now we can go back to the Normandy. Get out of here. Now this is one thing I want to point out. Up some stairs, through a bunch of doors, right? After having to fight our way through that whole barracks to work our way back around the back way into the lab. But, you know, we're soldiers. We have tools and weapons and explosives. Why couldn't we just knock down these doors? You know, blow a hole in the wall. Take the shortcut. And that has always annoyed / frustrated me. Alright. And now we can head back with all the long-faced stairs. You know, her mother just died in a gunfight with her, in front of her, and she's just gonna stretch her neck. Doesn't have anything to say. Liara's a trooper.
We need to hurry, Commander. My Benezia said she transmitted the Mu relay's coordinates to Saren. He may have already gone through.
We can't follow. That relay's inside the terminus systems. They're not fond of Alliance ships over there, or Spectres.
Conduit's on Ilos. That's where Saren's heading. I plan to be waiting when he gets there.
Saren probably has his whole fleet in orbit around Ilos. You will never make it down to the surface without reinforcements. You need to alert the Council. They will assemble a fleet to accompany you. It is our only hope.
Will they, though? Will they assemble a fleet? I'd also like to point out the whole "it's our only hope" line. Because that just makes me think of Star Wars. And help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Crew dismissed. Joker, alert the Council. Tell them everything.
Aye, aye, Commander.
That seemed awfully anticlimactic. It was a little short for how big of a situation we were discussing. So, speaking of anticlimactic and not given as much due as it should be, today I intend on discussing, talking about the omni-tool. Everybody's got one. They are a thing.
Boy, am I glad to be off of Novaria. I don't know which was worse, the cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off, the other will sell them out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Joker's always got something funny to say. He's the best. He's my favorite. So the omni-tool, as I mentioned, is very prevalent. Everybody's got one. That guy's got one. Shepard's got one. Presley over there's got one. Joker probably has one. Jenkins had one. Malenko over here's got one. It's a whole bunch of wasted space right here. Look how high that ceiling is. You could probably stack bunks 4 deep there. There's room for 12 dudes to sleep. And then it's just empty. It's wasted space. I know, that's part of the rant from the previous episode. I'm just running around looking at all the... making sure I didn't miss any of those little things that give you free XP. Anyway, omni-tool. To quote the wiki that I've referenced a few times, the omni-tool is a multi-purpose diagnostic and manufacturing tool, as well as a computer used for a variety of civilian and battlefield tasks. That's kind of heavy statement there all by itself. Diagnostic and manufacturing tool, as well as a computer. So you can troubleshoot things. You can build things. You can fix things. And a computer. Meaning everything a computer can do. There. 124 XP. Hooray. Yeah. It's a computer. Like on your wrist. Like it's a watch. It's a smartwatch. But, you know, computer. So, internet, YouTube, programming, software, downloading, playing video games, recording audio, anything and everything you can do on a computer. Except you don't have, you know, a big heavy desktop gaming PC or a laptop or whatever. It's part of you. It's on your person. It is more attached to you than your cell phone is.
I forwarded the mission update to the Citadel, Commander. We got confirmation on those reinforcements. Ambassador Udina wants us to report back to the Citadel. The Council's massing a joint species fleet to deal with Saren and his Geth.
Oh yeah. I remember this.
Back to the Citadel, Joker. I want the Normandy at the head of that fleet.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's exactly where the Normandy's going to be. So while this is happening, I'm going to keep talking about our omni-tool. It is mentioned as a computer microframe, whatever that is. It has a sensors analysis pack and a minifacturing fabricator. That's also a thing.
Good job, Shepard. Thanks to you, the Council's finally taking real action against Saren.
The Ambassador is correct. If Saren is foolish enough to attack the Citadel, as you believe, we will be ready for him.
Patrols are stationed at every mass relay linking Citadel space to the Terminus systems.
How many ships are you sending to attack Ilos?
Ilos is only accessible to the Mu relay, deep inside the Terminus systems, Commander. If we send a fleet in there, the only possible outcome is full-scale war.
Now is the time for discretion, Commander. Saren's greatest weapon was secrecy. Exposed, he is no longer a threat. This is over.
Now, how would Lydia handle this? Because we all know that just exposing the plot doesn't negate the fact that there is a plot. So...
Secrecy isn't his greatest weapon. The conduit is.
Saren is a master manipulator. The conduit is just a distraction from his real plan to attack the Citadel.
If Saren finds the conduit, we're all screwed. We have to go to Ilos.
Ambassador Udina, I get the sense Commander Shepard isn't willing to let this go.
There are serious political implications here, Shepard. Humanity's made great gains thanks to you, but now you're becoming more trouble than you're worth.
You bastard!
You're selling us out.
It's just politics, Commander. You've done your job, now let me do mine. We've locked out all the Normandy's primary systems until further notice you're grounded.
Without any spoilers of my book, Lydia and her ship are very closely tied.
Nobody stabs me in the back, Udina. Nobody.
I think it's time for you and your team to leave, Commander. This no longer concerns you. The Council can handle this, with my help, of course.
The voice actor they have for that guy is excellent. He just oozes slime.
Commander, are you all right? I'm sure there's a way to appeal. We're under Alliance authority, after all, not the Council.
Official channels are closed. They were quite clear about that.
Closed. And we're supposed to accept that. So where do you think the best view will be when the Reapers roll through? If we have to sit it out, may as well get a good seat.
I don't remember hearing that line of dialogue before. That's a little dark there, Alenko.
We lost the battle, not the war. I'll figure something out.
If I can be of any help, let me know. I hope I'm not out of line saying that.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. It was a frustrating trip before we were grounded.
You looked like you were about ready to go off on the Council. Much as they deserve it, it's good to take a step back. I'm here for you, but we're in a rough spot, and the last thing I want to do is muddy things. Like it's all that clear to start with. Are we the pride of the fleet or not? Are we valued agents or just peons?
I don't know. I gotta figure how. So then this is the other part that makes it kind of awkward because I'm projecting my character into this. So I'm sitting here debating how would Lydia, handle that. Not what I would think, or what the canon Shepherd is supposed to think, but how would Captain Litvak feel?
I'm sick of it too. Maybe we need to take a little initiative.
No, Cat. This is not the time for you to be on the desk.
What am I saying? When don't you? That's what I appreciate about you.
Oh, I see where this is going, and which part of the game we're at. So this is that awkward trying to be romance thing. I totally forgot. I don't know why that's happening, because I haven't talked to anyone of the crew, besides Joker, because he's funny.
I forgot you've never played as a woman character
And
before. I've
never played as a female shepherd before, so I didn't even realize he was coming down to me.
Do you crush his little heart and soul?
That's the plan.
Careful. When this is over, I might pay more attention to what you say.
Oh, so it's back to business after playing me. Here's something else,
I didn't realize I was playing him. We were talking politics, damn it. Damn it, don't make me pause this, YouTube. Nope.
Sorry.
Captain Anderson interrupted at the same time I paused. Beautiful timing. Nothing happened.
Only said to meet him in that club in the wards. Flux.
Well, I guess you better go then.
So, yes, I paused the recording, but all you did was miss the cringiest, sweatiest 3 seconds of almost kissing. It's very high school locker room feeling.
People kiss in the locker room since when?
Well, right, fine. Ignore the locker room part. It's very high school feeling.
There you go.
equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere.
Sorry, Commander.
Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Sorry, Commander. The Normandy's locked down. Ambassador Udina gave the order.
And one mechanic standing on the airlock is gonna change that. I mean, she could go with us. You want to go on an adventure?
Alliance officials report that a Geth incursion into the Armstrong cluster has been repulsed, with the Geth suffering heavy casualties.
You're welcome.
In the event of future Geth activity, the Alliance plans to maintain a strong security presence in the area.
Okay. So, the omni-tool. It's a computer. It's got a whole sensors suite and a manufacturing fabricator. To continue quoting the wiki page here. It can adjust and analyze most standard equipment from a distance. So, to put that in relative terms, you're chilling at home, your significant other gets home, drives their car home, and they're like, hey, the check engine light came on. And you can read the code from the car's computer, whatever that check engine light is supposed to be indicating, without getting out of your recliner, without turning off the TV, without having to go to someone else to read the code for you, if you don't own your own code reader. Is it this way? Some random Asari standing around? I guess it's not that way.
You almost never see any keepers in this club. I guess they don't care what happens here. That or the music keeps them away.
Alright. Here's an observation. I thought Fist was dead. So there's a whole other list.
I'm glad you came, Jim. I heard that.
Okay, well, let me finish my spiel. There's a whole list of things that the omni-tool is or has or can do. Like a flashlight, because that's important. Everybody needs a flashlight. And the scanner. And the camera. But remember I said it's a computer, so they can do programming, hacking, and it's not just camera, like click pictures. It's video, audio, hologram, zoom on your wrist, basically. You can download and play video games, real-time object manufacturing, manipulation, salvage, converting stuff in and out of omni-gel. I'll more about that later. It is or can make tools for repairing stuff, and it even does the metagel, biofoam, whatever you want to call it, first aid stuff. All in the one little thing on your wrist. Alright. Now back to the boring dialogue.
They pulled me off the mission, just like when they forced you to give up the Normandy.
I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to warn you that there was no way to get a message to you before you docked. I know you're pissed off right now, but you can't give up. They all think this is over, but we both know it's not. You have to go to Ilos. You have to stop Saren from using the conduit.
There's only one ship that can get me into the Terminus systems undetected, and she's grounded.
Citadel controls locked out all the Normandy's systems, but if we override the Ambassador's orders, we can get them to bring the Normandy back online. You can be in the Terminus systems before anyone even knows you're gone.
If we steal the Normandy, you're the one left holding the bag.
And if Saren finds the conduit, life as we know it is over. The Reapers will destroy us. Humans, Asari, everybody. You're the only one who can stop him, Shepard. So I'll do whatever it takes to get you on the Normandy and off this station.
That's a hell of a way to think about it. You know, for what was that, 3 sentences? That's a hell of a little speech there. I've got the tingly goosebumps already. No wonder he's captain.
Stealing the Normandy is mutiny. What if the crew won't help me?
The Normandy's your ship now, Commander. Her crew will follow you to the ends of the galaxy. We both know that.
Do we? I mean, Garrus, Rex, Liara, Tali, they're all on board, but the Joker just wants to fly. But what about all the other guys? You know, Adams, Presley, all the other NPCs that don't have names. Jenkins, for Pete's sake.
What's the plan?
I can unlock the Normandy from one of the consoles in the Citadel Control Center. You'll have a few minutes before anyone realizes what happened.
That's a restricted area patrolled by armed guards. How are you going to get in?
Leave that to me. Just make sure you're in the Normandy when the systems come back online.
You're gonna get yourself killed. There has to be another way.
Ambassador Udina issued the lockdown order. If I can hack into the computer in his office, maybe I can override it.
He will not just stand by while you use his computer.
Hopefully he won't be there. If he is, I'll just have to think of something.
The ambassador will not forgive this, Captain. You will be charged with treason, a capital offense.
We don't have a lot of options. I break into the ambassador's computer, or I take my chances with the patrols in Citadel Control.
Even though I know what's going to happen, either way, I still feel like that's a safer choice.
You'll have a better chance if you go after the ambassador's computer.
I was hoping you'd say that. The ambassador has made this personal. You ready to get the hell off this station, Commander?
Let's go make some noise.
Do it.
I'll take care of the lockdown. You get down to the Normandy and tell Joker to stand by.
Okay. I gotta walk back to the ship again. Apologize for this distraction, talking. Or all this talking, distracting from the other thing I was talking about, because omni-tools. Now, just give it a second for all of that. No, not right now. I've got a galaxy to save. So take a moment to think about all that stuff. All in one thing, all in one tool, you know, on your wrist. I'm not even sure if you wear it like a watch, or part of me wants to think it's, you know, an implant. I know that, you know, first-gen colonists
Alliance
are
officials
issued
have
them.
raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance officer, Major Kyle. Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-traumatic stress disorder.
Alright, there's a little news blurb about something we did episodes ago. So you've got all of these different devices. You know, your med kit, your computer, your phone.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Your diagnostics, scanning equipment, all of that combined together in one tool.
Anderson, what are you doing here? I didn't send.
Let's go. Get us out of here, Joker. Now.
See, this is the thing, and I have this stealth ship. I can hide. What are they going to do? Chase me? Doesn't do them a whole lot of good if they don't have anything to chase. So, you got all this stuff. Everything. It's combined into one tool. Can you imagine? Just think about that for a second. Let it sink in. Just grok it. Because for as easy as it is to wear a wristwatch, you have everything. Not just your laptop and your phone and your email and your internet, but all of the, the programming, the computer design, the diagnostic equipment, that you could use on cars or airplanes. All of that, everything, all combined into one thing. But that's not the end of it. But wait, there's more. Because remember, it's the omni-tool. So, omni. Lots of things, multiple things. Does everything. So there's also a codex about the omni-tool being used as a weapon.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander, I'm glad you're in the area. We've got an emergency situation, and you're the only one I can trust to get the job done.
How can I help, Admiral?
Biotic fanatics have hit a medical research station with a psychotropic drug. The drugs have temporarily driven researchers crazy, and the biotics are effectively using them as human shields.
I'm at Ilos. We went through the mule relay to a star system that's been lost for thousands of years. There's no way there's biotics here.
If it moves, a lot of researchers are going to die.
Exactly. A normal team could handle the biotics, but a lot of innocent researchers would die during the operation. That's why I contacted you. I'm hoping you can keep the casualties to a minimum.
I'll take the biotics down, Admiral, and I'll try to limit the casualties.
I know you will, Commander. I'm sending you the station coordinates now. Fifth Fleet out.
Will I, though? We're doing other stuff. Gonna look at all these weird planets. Pressure cooker atmosphere. Carbon dioxide, ethane. Space station colonies, which, technically speaking, like O'Neill cylinders, space, a Dyson swarm of O'Neill cylinders would be the best way to colonize a solar system without ever setting biological feet down on a planet. Because anything else is inefficient. I mean, sure, it's expensive to build giant, swarms of satellites. But you spend all that energy fighting to get out of a planet's gravity well, just to go back into it. That's dumb.
Commander?
Right. About that romance thing.
For now, the Alliance has to catch me before they can strip my rank. What do you need?
I don't want to speak out of turn. I mean, I hope we're close enough.
Yeah, he doesn't give up.
We've said already. What happens if this doesn't work out, Shepard? Well, we mutinied, stole a prototype warship. If they wanted to get technical, they could throw in kidnapping. We're a hell of an example of humanity's best and brightest, huh?
I mean, yeah.
I keep reminding myself we're doing the right thing. They don't believe me yet.
Well, if I didn't think you were doing the right thing, I wouldn't be here. It'll really hit the fan when we get to Ilos. If things don't go well, I want you to know, well, I've enjoyed serving under you.
About that. Alright, so that's over. That was kind of cringe. The romance scene is dealt with, even though I don't think I ever talked to him once. I certainly didn't try any romancing. Here's the mule relay. Boom. That was short and weird. Poorly written. But, okay, that was excellent writing. For what it was.
Commander, we've got company.
Have their sensors picked us up yet?
Well, stealth systems are engaged. Unless we get close enough for a visual, they won't have any idea we're here.
Picking up some strange readings from the planet's surface.
Take us down, Joker. Lock in on the coordinates.
Negative on that, Commander. The nearest landing zone's 2 clicks away.
We'll never make it in time on foot. Get us
Oh
something
look, he has
closer.
clothes again.
There
That
is
was
somewhere
fast.
closer. I've looked.
Drop us in the Mako.
You need at least 100 meters of open terrain to pull off a drop like that. The most I can find near Saren is 20.
20 meters? We'll never get in close enough for a drop.
We have to try.
Find another landing zone.
There is no other landing zone.
The descent angle's too steep.
It's our only option.
It's not an option. It's a suicide run. We don't...
I can do it.
Joker,
I can do it.
gear up and head down to the Mako. Joker, drop us right on top of that bastard.
Now, as I was going to say, I feel sorry for the writers that had to write that dialogue, because they had to pack, a whole relationship into like 5 or 6 sentences, and it was cringe, but they did an excellent job, because I can't see any way trying to pack that much emotion and connection and love between 2 people into 10 lines of dialogue could be anything better than cringe, and not just outright intolerable and make me uninstall the game and melt my hard drive in the microwave. So, kudos to them. I'm glad it's over.
And you didn't break his poor little heart.
No comment. He's staying on the ship, though.
Is that because you love him?
Look, robots. So, now with this crazy short-ranged hot drop in the Mako,
Keep moving inside now.
this is the perfect time to talk about the other great feature of the omni-tool. Melee weapons.
We have to get inside this bunker before Saren finds the conduit. There is no way we're getting past that door with brute force.
Saren found a way to open it. There must be some kind of security override somewhere in this complex.
We will have to find some way to get it up and running again.
So, to continue quoting the wiki, the Fabricator module rapidly constructs an Omniblade, a disposable silicon carbide weapon, flash-forged by the tool's Mini Fabricator. The transparent, nearly diamond-hard blade is created, superheated, inside a Mass Effect field. That way it is suspended, safely away from the user's skin, so that the searing hot blade only burns what it's intended to. So that one little, let's make some noise. That one little bit right there be that. Can I fit through here? No. Dang. Come on. Do it again. Pop out. Thank you. Now the robots are fighting other robots. Oh, armatures. glowy thing every time I use power. See, watch. That's the omni-tool. Dealt with. So, that little quote from the wiki about... Damn it. Cat's back on the desk. That quote from the wiki about the manufacturing of the Omniblade to make a diamond hard silicon carbide glowing hot one-time use. Sounds like a disposable lightsaber. You're just manufacturing wrist-mounted lightsabers. Could be great for surgical purposes. You cut the stuff open and it's cauterized at the same time. Look at that, no bleeding. And then you got the meta gel. You just whoop, fill the hole, and it cat get down. You know, the uses, the implications are as much as you can imagine. But the point I'm making here, with this one little two-sentence quote, is that it specifically states that this searing hot blade is suspended in a Mass Effect field. So your omni-tool generates, manipulates Mass Effect fields and has its mini fabricating, basically a wrist-mounted 3D printer inside of a localized massless field. You're Why am I stuck on a route? Turn me out wrong. Garrus. Alright. There's something to decrypt. It was hard. I remember seeing it. So, aside from all these other, you know, it's your cell phone, it's your computer, it's your diagnostic equipment, it's your 3D printer. It generates Mass Effect fields. You know, it can reduce items to effectively zero mass. Damn. Or damn. So think of that as like limitless pockets. You know, it's the magical bottomless satchel from Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, obviously the weapons are still going to occupy, or weapons, just because you're carrying 5 guns or whatever. No, anything you put in there is going to occupy physical space, and that will be the limiting factor. But because you have element 0 being subjected to a electrical current, it reduces the mass of whatever you're trying, you know, to put there. So, you know, I could carry, you know, a whole Wile E. Coyote Acme anvil inside of my omni-tool's Mass Effect field and not have to exert the effort of carrying, you know, a 70-pound anvil until I needed to drop it, and then you just turn off the Mass Effect field while holding your hand out over the railing, and whoop, it falls down the stairs and squashes the Geth. And all is well. And, you know, that's just a joking matter. Think of all the other uses, applications for such. You know, again, you're limited by your imagination. Grr. Grr. I'm just gonna have to spend the omni-gel for this. I don't know what it does. Oh, it's only 25? I thought it was 100. It's like, I don't want to spend 100 omni-gel, that's why I didn't do it. No, it's only 25. That's nothing. I've got more omni-gel than I know what to do with. Because I've got more items in my inventory than I know what to do with. So, that codex that talks about the Omni Blade also lists several other weapons, you know, that can be generated, formulated, manipulated, designed. I mean, these are Space Marines with wrist-mounted manufacturing. You could literally just 3D print yourself a K-bar and have, you know, a nice knife to go kill Geth with. What more do you need, right? Kabang. Yes, kabang. That's what happened. That's the sound when you stab Geth with a K-bar knife. Kabang. So anyway, these other weapons. There's mention of electrical or thermal weapons, like a taser or a flamethrower, or a kinetic weapons by binding the personal. Remember how each suit of armor has Mass Effect fields, and that's how they make the barriers. If you bind your personal kinetic barrier to the Mass Effect field in the omni-tool, you can use it as a bludgeon. You have a wrist-mounted bludgeon, like all of the kinetic energy of your barrier and this Mass Effect field. Just bam, like Thor's hammer. Like, think of it this way, depending on how quickly you can change the mass. Remember my earlier example with the anvil. If I'm carrying, you know, a massless anvil in my omni-tool's Mass Effect field, and I swing my fist with this anvil hanging massless over my wrist. Overheated it. I'll go back to the gun I can actually use. Oh, that's Garrus. Ow. Oh. I didn't tell it to do that, but it happened. So, depending on how quickly you can change the relative mass using element 0 in this Mass Effect field. Damn, I double tapped that guy. Get wrecked, son. So you swing your fist with this anvil, massless anvil attached to your wrist. If in the amount of time it takes you to swing and throw that punch, like that, you can then, you know, increase, return to normal, duplicate, double the mass of said anvil. If it's already moving that fast from your swung fist, you know, either you miss the punch and you dislocate your shoulder, or you land that blow, and you're going to have, literally, a Wile E. Coyote anvil to the face. And that is an excellent, albeit slow and awkward, melee weapon. But, oh, there's a cat on my desk again. That is a melee weapon I would swing. Because the irony. Because the anvil's made out of iron. Anyway.
Hardy har.
You could use the same Mass Effect field to suspend dangerous gases. And then that electrical taser charge I mentioned to ignite those gases while venting them from the Mass Effect field, making, a Boba Fett style wrist-mounted flamethrower. That'd be pretty gnarly. And that's all just, off-the-cuff stuff mentioned in the Codex. Why am I stuck looking at Garrus's shoulder? Thank you.
This place still has power. Must be running off its own generator.
This must be the command center for the entire complex. Saren's troops must have sealed the doors from here after he went inside. We will have to figure out how to disengage the security lockdown if we ever want to get inside that bunker.
I would think, advanced aliens like the Protheans would have powerful, useful, efficient energy sources, so that even after thousands of years of abandonment in this situation... Oh, look, stuff shooting at me. Even after thousands of years of abandonment, the lights would still be on. Because once you have sufficiently advanced technologies, such things should be easier than tying your shoes. That's not what I wanted. Hey, now. I mean, it's a nice car, but... Mass Effect, what are you doing? That was weird. I can't save, I'm still in the fight. Oh, they got Liara while I was confused. Now then. Now I will save, because that was weird, and I don't want something awkward to happen and screw up my 40 minutes of progress. Can't level up yet, though. Alright. I'm not gonna mess with that hard decryption again. I'm just gonna spend all this omni-gel. I'm not gonna need it. Okay. So, just all of those, quick cannon uses of the omni-tool there. It's pretty gnarly. It's pretty cool stuff, right? Like, why is this not the poster child of the game? Because that's the coolest thing. Like, I could use the snot out of that. Like, I don't have to look for my missing 10mm socket. I'm just going to fabricate another one. Boom, good to go. Like, you don't have to get up and go back to your toolbox every 30 seconds to get a different tool. Because it's on your wrist, you just fabricate whatever tool you need at the moment. You wouldn't even own said toolbox full of tools that weighs more than the car I'm working on. Because you can make whatever tool you need. The omni-tool is all the tools. I just...
Come, Saren already has a head start.
Why it's
We have
not
to
a
go
bigger...
find him before he reaches the conduit.
Why it's not a bigger
Unless he's already
thing
found it.
boggles my mind.
That is a chance we will have to take.
Hold on. Something's happening.
Too late. Unable to... Invading fleets. No escape.
Sounds like some kind of message, but I don't recognize the language.
It is probably in Prothean. This recording must be 50,000 years old. No wonder we cannot understand it.
The message is all broken up, but I recognize some of the words. It's a warning against the Reaper invasion.
Of course. Between the beacons and the cipher, an understanding of the Prothean language would have been transferred into your mind.
How cool is that?
Not safe. Seek refuge.
I wish I could learn another language that easy.
Archives.
What's it saying? Can you make out anything useful?
Fought Reapers. The Citadel. Overwhelmed. Only hope.
Act of desperation. The conduit.
I mean, imagine just, mind meld with somebody that already knows it, and bam, now I know Japanese. Or Russian, or German, or any of the other languages I've tried to learn and given up because I'm one dude not taking official courses. I just have some old textbooks, and it's frustrating.
It said something about the conduit, but it's too degraded to help. We should go.
Cannot be stopped.
Alright, so that terminal.
Cannot be stopped.
Why are there stairs up here? Where do these go? There's nothing. Normally, in other kinds of first-person shooters, that's where you find, like, the fancy high explosive ammo or the extra satchel full of grenades or, the cool stuff that makes the next fight way easier. I don't know. We'll see. Back to this omni-tool manufacturing thing. Like I was talking about, making all of the tools that I need on the fly. Because it can rapidly assemble small 3D objects from common reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys for field repairs, modifications, and manufacturing of standard use items. And these various... Garrus's shoulder again. These various items made out of those things are all reusable and repurposable as salvageable equipment. That's what the Omni-Gel is. Your plastic, light metal alloys, ceramics, blah blah blah, what have you, melted down by the Omni-Tool into the base, raw, usable material. So not only do you have a watch-sized 3D printer that can manufacture objects into a massless field for you, did I not do the thing? Like, the gate down there looked like it was still locked. There, now it's open. I'm just confused. So not only is that, but your average 3D printer, what I bought on Amazon and threw on the desk in the corner, sure, I can print 20 different kinds of plastic, but this also does ceramics and light alloy. So it doesn't specify if light alloy means like aluminum, magnesium, lightweight metals, or if it means like any metals like tungsten with a teeny tiny bit of titanium, a small amount of alloy. I'm assuming it's lighter weight metals, like aluminum.
I am sorry. I was swept up in the moment. I just...
What are all those things on the wall? Some kind of containers?
They look like stasis pods. The Protheans probably tried to keep themselves alive through cryogenic freezing. Something must have gone...
You interrupted our touching dialogue. I was listening to Liara talk about Protheans and history and archaeology. Although an excellent point that I have never been able to find an answer for is, how long do you have to wait before you can call it archaeology instead of grave robbing? I don't know. Anyway, I want an omni-tool.
What is happening?
It's a trap. Sarah must have set an ambush.
I do not think Saren is behind this.
I know what's happening next, and I've run on nearly an hour now. Anyway, where's Garrus? Did he get stuck behind the door again? No, he's stuck behind the Mako. Oh, there he is. He just teleported. So the omni-tool, well, being a normal, mundane, every soldier and first-gen colonist gets one, and anyone with money can go buy one.
I have studied the Protheans for decades, but I have never felt this sense of foreboding. What will we find down there?
Whatever it is, we should be careful.
Look at her expression. the one eye a little bit bigger than the other. She's really like, what the hell's going on down here? Alright, before we get sucked into this conversation, I'm gonna save. We'll run that in the next episode. I've reached my hour length, and I just want to reiterate that this mundane tool can do anything and everything you can imagine, because it's all of these things combined. It 3D prints ceramic, plastic, metal. It deconstructs, it adjusts, analyzes. It has a scanner. Who knows what that means? All kinds of things could be, a scanner. Do you have personal radar, LiDAR, sonar? What ways are you scanning and not scanning? Like, just how complex is this thing? And just take a second to think about how seriously that would affect culture and society, and you and me and the cat sitting on my desk. If everybody had such a thing, and you'd have no need for personal computers, laptops, cell phones, smartwatches, 3D printers, pockets, GoPros, webcams, flashlights, and anything and everything else. Like I mentioned, my huge, expensive, heavy toolbox. I wouldn't need to own or spend all the money on, because I had an omni-tool, and I could just make whatever tool I needed. I mean, I'm sure there are some tools that are too large for an omni-tool to make, like an engine hoist, but I could make all the sockets, ratchets, wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, etc. that I needed then and there. That's a thing. And that's cool, and I want one. And I feel like it would have a larger societal impact than it does in the game. Because in the game, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, everybody's got one. And I'm sure, this is set in 2183, after, 150 years of everybody, integrating all of these things and finally having one device that does all of the different things. No, don't you walk on my keyboard. How many times do I have to tell you, no cat on the desk? We've got this one device that can do all of these things. And I feel like it would have a bigger significance, and that for how cool and versatile. And I mean, I know it's too mundane and that's why it's not, but I feel like it should be farther forward in the list of technologies and sci-fi cool/weirdness that Mass Effect has, and it should play a bigger role than it does. So I'm here for Team omni-tool. I'll see you guys in the next episode when we finish chasing Saren through the conduit.